I've spent most of my life travelling the world. As a travel writer, I get to travel far and wide, but often for short periods of time, so contrary to what people might think, it can be very compressed and sometimes a little stressful. So when I get a chance to walk in the countryside in Ireland, I get to breathe more and slow down, which I love. I'm walking in Ireland's southeast, near Carrickfoyle in County Wexford, along a route that's full of story and antiquity and spans over 10,000 years of Ireland's history. My name is Paolo Canila, and this is my Tracks and Trails. I've been walking in the Carrick area in County Wexford. My entire walk is 15 kilometres and I'm just over halfway through. In contrast to most walks I do, there's lots of history and stories on this route, which I love and find entertaining. I feel like I'm walking through time in a way. Much of my walk has been along roads and bohreens, and I'm now finally leaving them behind me and getting onto the off-road trails for most of the second half and the remainder of my walk. These trails are perfect underfoot. A lot of planning and thought went into them, and they're a pleasure to walk on. The first section of off-road trail leads me to a place called Carrigfoyle Lake, and it's a perfect place for a pit stop.
This looks promising. Wow. This is so unexpected along here. It feels like I'm almost not in Ireland, like I'm at the Canadian lakes or some kind of North American landscape. There's a sheer rock face with this red colour bleeding through it. Super still water and the reflections of the trees on it. This is a moment. It's a long walk, so I'm going to take a break to replenish the old sugar levels here. I've got nice local drinks, my chocolate essential supply and stash, a yogurt I'm going to have later. Wexford's actually really good for its food. It's not just about strawberries and spuds and fish from Kilmore Quay. There's lots of interesting arts and stuff going on as well. I'm going to tuck in. There's an interesting thing about this chocolate. The shapes on the top are the topography around the little house where it's made in Wexford.
The off-road trail takes me along a short linking section of the road before turning left back onto the trail towards Drooping Rock and heading towards Fourth Mountain. I find walking is a great way for me to relax and think, but now I'm going to meet a lady who's going to teach me how to walk and not think.
When did you set this start?
I'm meeting Deirdre O'Flynn, who practices mindfulness, and she's going to show me the practice of mindful walking.
And how did you get into it?
You know that thing where you need to get out of your head?
I do.
You need to learn, really, that you can't think about two things at one time and that what you think about is a choice.
So what is mindfulness and what's mindful walking?
Mindfulness really is about being in the moment. So it is about focusing on your breath, focusing on where you are in and of that particular moment, not getting caught up on what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. And you focus on it in terms of your breathing. So you just literally breathe in, breathe out and focus on that. And actually forgiving yourself if you do think about something else.
Okay.
So it is simply about focusing on your breath in and out. So mindful walking then is when you become aware of where you are when you're walking. So for instance, as we're walking here, it's about just listening to the bird song, listening to the silence, listening to your feet, looking around and looking at the different greens. When you focus on any one thing, your mind can't focus on another thing. So that instantly stops that inner chatter. And then it also almost untenses your body. The whole point is just to be centered and be grounded and be still and actually be very forgiving of yourself so that if your mind does wander, well, what harm?
That's what it is. So how can we do it now?
So just let's focus for a second on the crunch that our feet is making. And you notice that as you're focusing on that, your breathing will slow.
And what if my mind moves away from that, if it wanders?
Noticing that is the essence of mindfulness. And as soon as you've noticed it, wandering in fact, you have the power to bring it back.
Okay, I'm noting my mind is wandering because I noticed the mist and it drew me into thinking about where it came from.
And that's okay.
Well, thanks so much for that. You've given me a lot to bring with.
Yeah, it was lovely to meet you. So the important thing now is as you continue on your wanders, you remember, focus on your breath, focus on the breathing. Yeah. And again, if your mind wanders, there's no fuss. Just bring it all back to yourself. Bring it back to your breathing and your feet and your just the here and the now.
Perfect.
When you're walking, just focus on the walk.
I will do.
Take care.
Thanks a mil, Deirdre.
Take care.
See ya.
I'm heading into the last stages of my walk now, a gentle uphill slope towards Skeater Rock. Even though I've walked mindfully for 30 minutes or so, I've already found that it's calmed me and made me more alert to my surroundings. I certainly feel more peaceful. I'm on a mountain called Fourth Mountain. There are various walks and loops here. It's all very family friendly and the children decorate the trees, which has kind of an enchanting feel to it.
Looks like the end's in sight. See the Wexford colours here again.
As I've seen all along my walk, preserving history is very important to people in this part of Wexford. And a lot of the time the community get involved.
They're conserving here a Fourth Mountain house, actually drawing the outline of the stones so that they can take them down and properly conserve them and replace them exactly as they've just told me in the spirit of the place. I love that.
Time traveled slowly, but time has finally gone back. I have never missed it.
I'm ending the walk here on a super high point, Skeater Rock, which gives me a sweeping view back over the sunny southeast from Duncannon and the Hook Peninsula over here to the Salty Islands and right across to Carrickfoyle Point and Rosslare Harbour. It's a gorgeous panorama to end with. I started out a couple of hours ago in Carrick, but I really feel like I've been walking through stories and through time a little bit, meeting people along the way, talking about the revolutionary period and 1798, medieval, Norman adventures and beyond. It feels like it takes me out of the day-to-day for a while, and I love that about a walk, I really do. And aptly, I'm ending here with a carpet of purple heather and yellow gorse in front of me. So it's pure Wexford.
Home guides us from rain, guides us from lightning.